Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2016, and well, it's only been 1 month, or just less than 1 month since our last video, and that's because things have started to really pick up, and things are really doing, well, we're doing really well, put it this way. I'll very quickly just go over some of the transfers then. Since the transfer window has closed, there's no one else has gone out, however, things have happened coming in. We talked about Steven Eze, or Easy, who is ineligible, so quite frankly he's not really worth talking about. He is ripping it up in the reserves, however, so that's pretty good. He's scored 5 goals in 4 games, so he's done quite well. Wonder kid, Nigerian. He won't be available to us until next season, unfortunately, due to the fact that he's already played for 2 other Italian teams, and for some reason that means if you sign again for a third, you can't play for them until the next season, which is a bit stupid, and because I'm not an Italian football expert, I didn't know about that, so yeah, a bit stupid. I've also brought in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I'm really big fan of this guy. I love, I love a guy with a footballer with a lot of pace and a lot of bravery and a lot of, actually I say bravery, you know what I mean, fast, off the ball, great players type things. I was just looking at the attributes there. I don't even know. You know what I mean? He has a lot of pace. He runs for days and is a pretty good finisher. That's why I'm happy to be able to just pay £10 million for him. He is 30 years old, so he's probably going to just see out this contract and that's it. Also say the same for Alex Teixeira, who is bought from Juventus, quite surprisingly. He is in real life at Shakhtar, I think, but he's been ripping up in the league for Juventus for a while now, and I was delighted to be able to get him for just £13.5 million. He'd be playing sort of in behind the striker, but funnily enough, it's not been any of these two that have caught my eye. It's bizarrely, since the Lazio game, it's been Mania. Aubameyang scored on his debut, which was good, but if we look here against Cagliari, it's been Mania against Juventus, which we beat 4-1, more on that in a second. He scored 2, and he also scored against Sassuolo, so maybe he is now starting to finally find a bit of damn form. But we'll go back to this game, which was 2-2, of course, which we saw live, and then we played them in the Italian Cup and won 2-1. We thankfully didn't concede that second goal this time around, and it was Aubameyang on his debut, just 8 minutes into it. He made a fantastic impact. Here he is here, just coming through now. Any moment. Lovely ball from Mania, and a great finish. As I say, just 8 minutes into his debut. I couldn't have been any happy with that. Then they equalise, I believe, from this. Erby Emanuelson getting the winner. He hasn't scored a goal for us for a long time. He also missed the penalty you may have saw, I think, right at the end of the first half as well. So he made up for that to his credit. He is about 34 years old now, so he doesn't really get much of a look in these days, especially with the likes of Old Sheik, Blazikowski and so on, and Pastore, etc. But to his credit, he does well here. I think this was quite a scrappy goal, if I recall, because there's been so many lately. We've actually, I think, turned the corner, so there's been quite a few goals. Apologies if I can't quite remember them all off the top of my head, but here he is now. Passes back to the Siglio. No, I think there's still more to come. Still more in his highlight. Quite a long highlight, this one. Lovely bit of space. And to be fair, the ball's almost behind him. I don't quite know how he struck that. He probably did that thing where, if you look at it in the 3D match engine, he sort of floats behind the ball. 3D match engine's so bizarre. As we've seen, if you watch Dr. Benji series, you may have seen a few mishaps with the 3D match engine. His Salford series. I would recommend you watch that, actually, if you're not. It is a very good series. One of the few FM series, I think, that has actually kept me entertained throughout. So, yeah, shout out to Benji there. Anyway, Cagliari 2-1. Samuel Gotti, yes, the 17-year-old, scored his first goal for us. Here it is here. We actually went 1-0 down to Fausto Rossi. What is it about Cagliari? They just seem to play well. And this guy, like Seydou Doumbia and I don't know what it is. They just seem to play quite well against us. I mean, obviously we won this time, but the start they had. I mean, look at the ball. That is from Falk. He's another one who plays well. It's just very annoying. You may notice I'm playing Guzan here as well. But it was nevertheless a win, so I wasn't too disappointed. But there is Gotti. Lovely run. Great ball in from Pastore as well. Obviously not his debut goal or anything. He has played for us before, but I was still very happy nevertheless. And then here we go, 85th minute, ball across, not 1, not 2, but 3 attempts for Pastore, and eventually he gets it, and it made all 3 subs right at the end there. because I didn't want to change anything because we were doing really well up until that point. Then this happened, and this was the time I knew we turned the corner, and this is when I started to perhaps, change up a few things, and you can tell because we've conceded 6 yellow cards. Referee was very firm, so obviously that didn't help, shall we say. But this is Juventus, and they are, as you can imagine, still a very, very good team. But we hammered them, absolutely hammered them, and there's Calabria. I mean, that's a belter of a finish from Calabria. But fair play to Manea, who had the game of his life here, by far the best game for us so far. There's De Siglio as well. Lovely. I suppose that was a volley as well. Lovely, lovely finish from De Siglio. I couldn't quite believe at this point. Alex Teixeira was playing. This was his debut. He didn't score. He did get injured. He's only out for about 4 or 5 days. Nice assist, though, for Manea. Who has said really deserved that goal. And I changed the formation slightly, so it's now a sort of 4-1-4-1. Sorry, 4-1-3-1-1. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. So that's how Teixeira's playing. Obviously, I can swap out Gotti as well there if I need to, who can play in Teixeira's position. But obviously, we can of course just make that advanced playmaker a centre forward if we need to be. And we've recently just played Sassuolo. It's Manea and John Stone scoring again. Quite a few yellow cards. That is a slight concern. But once again, Felipe Grenier playing well. I was a little bit bit cautious with him and decided to take him off. If he wasn't having a belter of a game, then I just generally take the kids off after a while, just to make sure that their rating doesn't drop to say like a 6.5 or 6.6. Because I find that if you can avoid that, the more the chances of them actually having a worse game in the future, consistently over time, actually decreases. So. I mean, that could be a load of horse shit, but that's something I've noticed. It might have just been a complete coincidence and a load of luck, but yeah, that's something I noticed, and I think that's might be interesting to point out. John Stones and Mangala combining, luckily, to get us the victory there over Sassuolo. So, now, the club stature has bizarrely dropped. I'm not quite sure why, but the competitions now, as you can see, that's rocketed right back up, just a little bit extra form, a little bit more, and now, as you can see, we're 4 points clear of Juventus. Instead, a few people asking, Joachim Low is the manager. Yeah, I can't quite believe it either. But there you go. Maori on 8 assists, Calabria on a 7.74 rating. I've had 3 red cards. But we're going to go play Catania today, but I just wanted to do this one live for 2 reasons. One, catch us smack bang in the middle of this great form, but also because the next live comment, we can perfectly time it with the semi-final second leg against Juventus. How good is that one going to be in the Italian Cup? So that's going to be smack bang in the middle as well of that Champions League knockout round game. So that'll be a good update time, I think. So I'm going to play this team here. I was going to change it then. In fact, just one change. I'm going to put Guzan on for Donnarumma. Maori's been in an amazing form, obviously Bonaventura, Gotti and Manea. I'm not going to play Aubameyang mainly because, as I say, Manea's been in great form, so I've no reason to drop him. He's also a little bit concerned, so I might as well not run the risk of making him unhappy and just keep playing him until the goals dry up a little bit, which inevitably will be in this game because, turn the cameras on and all that, hey, you go to shit, because that's how a Football Manager works. There's someone living inside my computer, I'm very sure of it, who's just knows when I'm running ScreenFlow, so it knows, oh right, yes, your team will now play crap. Anyway, let's hope not. Let's hope we can keep this good run going. So Manea finally is starting to perhaps repay a little bit of that, it's like £37 million I paid for him. I mean, bear in mind, you are paying a lot that much because of the age. Clubs always hike the prices up when I think they're like below the age of about 24. And that's just through that. I mean, that's obviously happens in real life, but especially on this game, it's very, very rare that a player who is under that age goes for less than, say, 15 million. And there's Samuele Gotti, a lovely finish. Got to say, I thought I was going to squeeze it. I thought he was going to go wide, but no, he's managed to just squeeze it into the bottom corner. That's a fantastic finish. Tell you what, it's annoying really because I don't really. There's a part of me that wants to leave mainly because of a new challenge things, but I don't want to leave at the same time because we've got so many of these great young players. We've got Gotti here, Maori still only about 23, Old Sheik's only about 22. Grenier 17, Donnarumma, he's only 20. He's at nearly 150 appearances for Milan. He's not even 21 yet. How amazing is that? So kind of frustrating really that that's going to happen. But I mean, if there, as I say, if there is no good job, then I'm going to stay, because what's the point? It can go horribly wrong if that happens. So I'm going to take Mania off just because of his injury, and we are going to bring on Aubameyang just so you can see him for the first time. It was really a toss-up between him and Menez, I guess. Carlos Bacca, incidentally, is not going to get a look in this team for a long time now. He's just been so poor for so long. Right, here's De Siglio. Oh, old Sheik was coming in there. It's come out to Gotti, who can't quite get a shot away. And now De Siglio. This is quite good. This has the rumblings of a goal. Nope, spoke too soon. Once again, Bonaventura really put in a shift. He has barely put a foot wrong all season. Every game he's had a above average game. I think the lowest rating I've seen him have is like a 6.8, which is just means average, doesn't mean poor or anything. So they've not really. In fact, I'm just going to add very quickly the match stats over here, because I took that off. I was playing in my what's it called, the split screen before. I was playing. I was watching watching a game of football. Funnily enough, on BT Sport, and I had it up on the side here. You can, if you have a Mac, if you have OS 10 El Capitan, you can run split screen. And let me tell you now, watching live football and Football Manager playing it at the same time, it's great, but my God, is it confusing. I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, like actually watch football and play FM, but it's very weird. You almost feel as if it's like, especially when you're in sort of the future, I'm in 2020 here, it does feel as if they would have monitors on the manager benches to say, right, how are Juventus getting on? Let's have a look. You can actually watch their game live on the bench. I think that's something that might happen soon. I don't know. That was just a little funny idea I had while I was watching it. Anyway, here's Gotti. So he's in the box again, and goodness me, nearly had another one. Silvestri with a good save. And Catania really have not done much in this game, but as we saw against Perugia, there's no reason why they can't go up the other end of the field now and bash one in. So I am going to make just one more change. Aubameyang's not done a lot really. We're going to take off. Let's bring on Teixeira just for a few minutes. Going to take Mario off. He's done very, very well. They all have support. Let's not get silly here. Thought it might say standing ovation for Maori, but no, fair enough. We have had quite a lot of yellow cards, but that's because I've changed a few of the. I think I've added like get stuck in to the instructions, which I wouldn't recommend usually. However, I needed to mix it up a little bit, and that one I just felt that we were a little bit weak at times, and so if it means we get an extra 20 yellow cards a season, then so be it. If it means we can be a bit stronger. I mean, I'm sure there are better ways of doing that. Showing a little bit more in terms of actual strength on the ball, if you know what I mean. I'm sure that. I know it's down to individual players and things as well, but in terms of actually, I don't know what I'm trying to think. What's the best? Yeah, I think in a defensive mind, in terms of players just getting shoved off the ball, or just shoved, pushed away by a player on the ball, when defending and stuff. That's kind of what I was thinking about, and it does seem to have made a change, or at least it appears to. I don't know if it has for sure. It's too early to tell. But it looks like that'll be it. Provided we don't give the ball straight away to them. Go on, Grenier, get rid of it. There you go. That should be it. And it is. Well, it's not the best game in the world. I'd probably pick the worst one, as per bloody usual, out of this big run. But it does go on. Bonaventura, another man of the match. He was outstanding. And the winner coming courtesy of 17-year-old Samuel Gotti. Delighted with that. So Mania, he's only out 4 to 5 days. That's fine. I say he's played well. 4 goals and 4 assists at 27 doesn't sound great, but all we have to do is look at his average rating here, which goes to stats. Yeah, as you can see, he's just 0.1 off Sovic here. Inter incidentally have gone amazingly. Mancini's come back in, and they're going great guns. They're up into 4th now, you may notice. Still a bit behind Palermo, and Torino just dropped off ever so slightly. But yeah, they're going great. Bit worried now when we play them. But Mauri still now top of the assists. Mania now approaching, also getting near the top of the goals chart. And yeah, the average ratings, I mean, look at that. Mauri, Pastore, Bonaventura, all going brilliantly. Dominated by Milanese players, if you include Inter as well. So that's very good. Now, I'm going to go away. I'm going to play the first leg of this Italian Cup semi-final. Please join me for the second leg. See how we got on. See if we can keep this win run going. It's going to be tricky against the likes of Juventus, Schalke, Fiorentina, Juventus again, maybe even Inter further down the line. But I'm confident now. I finally feel like I'm confident in this squad. Like it's working. You know, we have Teixeira, we have Mania now getting into a little bit of form. We have Aubameyang, Bonaventura's flying. Even Poyet and Blind, players who were perhaps a little bit more average, shall we say, last year, are doing really well. And I'm really excited to see how I end all of this. As I say, I'm not confirming anything that I'm going to change teams. However, I am going to start looking, being a bit more proactive in that regard. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. That's going to do it from me. Please join me for the second leg of the Juventus game, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.